Welcome to Hiring America. I'm your host, Lauren Wanko. Today we're speaking with Meg O'Grady, Senior Vice President of Military Affairs for National University, a veteran-founded nonprofit. Meg, thank you for speaking with us today.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to talk to you.
You've accomplished much in your personal and professional life. Tell us a bit about your background before coming to National University and why you decided to join NU.
I have about 20 years of experience working with the Army in quality of life programs, mostly around community education and transitioning service members into their civilian careers. And then I've worked for Fortune 500 companies. I worked at the Pentagon and stood up the military spouse employment partnership. And so when NU reached out to me, I thought, well, maybe this is the next challenge, the next place to go to really figure out not only how we can employ military service members, veterans, and their spouses, but also how can we get them the training and education they need while they're transitioning and into the right place. And so National just seemed like the perfect place for me to be, and I could stay here forever. I love the work that we're doing.
And you recently launched a system-wide transformation centered on student-centric whole human education approach. What does that mean and represent for current and prospective students?
What's very interesting is that National University is veteran founded. And so we have been for 51 years serving the military who are non-traditional students and who were non-traditional students at the time. And so the whole human education, what that does is it looks at not just academic or career preparation, but looks at how do we help the student with the resources they need, given that most of them are going to be working at the same time. Many of them are parents, and many of the parents are single parents. So when we look at those other resources, not just career and academics, but how do we help them with resources in their community, with social, emotional wellness? How do we help them with financial challenges? And so when we look at whole human education, it's really those 5 pillars. And while we know that non-traditional students, adult students, tend to have more challenges than their civilian counterparts who may be going full-time first time to a university, we know that veterans and military affiliated students have specific challenges, additional challenges due to the nature of their service. And so instead of reinventing that within the university as whole human education, what we've done is we're partnering with a variety of organizations who provide those resources very well and in communities across the United States. So we're working with organizations like the U.S. Chamber of Commerce Hiring Our Heroes program. We're working with Psych Armor, which is a training program to help with cultural competency among our staff at National to help them understand what challenges military affiliated students might have. We're working with organizations like the Armed Services YMCA that provides resources for young enlisted families on installations across the United States. So what we want to do is bring those organizations who have been doing that great work in as partners in our whole human education model.
What are some of the many ways that National University works to address the unique needs of the military service members, veterans, and military spouses?
We have a virtual veteran center. So when our students come in, they are wherever they are, whether they're deployed or just across the United States, we have a place for them to be. And those resources are available through the Veteran Center, such as tutoring and studying. We also have community events, not only virtual, but at our campus in San Diego. As students come in, we have a dedicated military team who is educated on not only their benefits, but some of the challenges they might be having. And so we have a rolling admissions program that allows military students to come in and start their program once a month, any month during the year. We also have a very flexible program to allow them to stop and start when they need to, given the needs of either their families or communities or deployments. And then lastly, I think we have an entire staff that is not only made up of experts in their professions, but also military veterans and those who have supported the military. And so our entire staff is really dedicated to this idea of National University being a veteran serving organization. It's not just one part of the university, it's the entire university. And it's part of what we do, and it's part of what we value.
Veterans leave the military with a variety of skills that often aren't understood or appreciated by the civilian workforce because they just don't know how to translate those skills. How is NU helping veterans communicate what they've learned in the military with civilian employers?
We're working with those students to get them into the industry that they want to be in while they're in school. So we call it credential-rich pathways. So a student might come in and have a variety of credits. They're able to start their degree and say if they're in a medical field or health sciences, we're able to help them with their first few courses to prepare for a certification or a licensure so that they can start working in that career field as soon as possible before they graduate. And when they graduate, they'll already have experience and know what they're getting into and hopefully have a great network to receive them.
What would you say to any service members, veterans, or military spouses out there who think it's impossible to pursue a certificate or degree with all of the other responsibilities that so many of us have?
I would say look for a school that can not only accommodate your schedule, so someone that has a school that might have flexible scheduling that allows you a variety of times to start during the year, allows you to have asynchronous education, which means you can take that education on demand, as well as virtual classes. And then I would say ensure that they're a regionally accredited university that accepts credit for military experience. That's really important. And the minimum standard that we've found is accepting the American Council on Education's recommendations for credit for military students. That's the minimum that I would look for. So really talk to your chain of command, find the right school, and just get started.
Meg, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.